Good morning. This
Morning.
is Fred from the 42nd Torino Film Festival, and I'm Cristiana Palmieri in conversation with Andrii Alf'erov, director, and Viktoria Romashko to present Dissident, your film. So Andrei is the director, and Viktoria plays the female leading character in the film. So welcome to Fred, and welcome to Torino Film Festival.
Thank you so much.
I would like to start with a question for you, Andrei. The story told by Dissident is based on a family memoir. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Could you please tell us more about that?
Right. My aunt, the sister of my grandpa, was a very famous Soviet dissident and human rights activist. He spent more than 7 years in a KGB prison. And she liberated in 1988 in the Gorbachev's era. And Mr. Ronald Reagan asked Mr. Gorbachev in Reykjavik in 1985 to liberate her from a prison. And the Kennedy's family support her in the prison. And she told me many stories about that period. That's why I put some of them to the script.
So let's talk about the two main characters, Oleg and Vilena, played by Viktoria. How are they connected to the story of your family memoir? Is there some link? They are real, inspired to real people that took place in what you just told us?
No, we are create them because we trying to find the characters who's give us the eyes to see the world around.
Yeah.
No, we are not to attend of my family story.
Right.
But some stories about them, the story of that novelist, or about the members of a dissident movement in the Kiev, that's from my aunt. She
Right.
told me about that.
Yeah. So the film is inspired to those stories.
Sure.
Yeah. Viktoria, you play the female leading character, Vilena. Tell us more about Vilena. Who is she?
Andrew will help me because
Absolutely.
my English is bad. She is a woman that symbolize now all women in Ukraine that tired from fighting, from war, and tired to be afraid. She wants to live now, not in the future, because we have only now. And she symbolizes like a newborn of Ukraine, the future for me.
Yeah. No, it makes sense considering the story that is told in Dissident and what's happening today in Ukraine, which brings me to another question for you, Andrei. So the story told in the Dissident is about the Ukrainian Insurgent Army history and a very complex political history. So how your film reconciled that story with what's happening now in Ukraine? Is there a link there?
Look, so we having the new big scale invasion like people in 1968, because at that period the Czech people had the same. And today we are like a Czech people there, and world around is a tent of that event, of that invasion. And we having the same nationalistic movement inside the country. We have many lost and loneliness people around in our society, people who tried to live in the war, people who tried to fight, people who tried to hope, people who tried to choose some ideology or whatever. So I try to make the screen like a mirror. I try to find ourselves today in that old story, because I didn't want to make some encyclopedia like Wikipedia.
The history
I
of
think
what
it's not.
happened in Ukraine.
Yeah. It's not interesting to watch about events which was happened more than a half century ago.
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah.
that story is to attend of.
But when you watch the film, you can't avoid to think about what's happening now in Ukraine. So that's the link that probably audience would see in your story. And back to Viktoria, what was the hardest part in playing your character, in shaping your character?
For me, like
For you,
actress,
as an actress, what was difficult for you in playing Vilena, if any?
If technically about me like actress, because Vilena, it's opposite me, like
Personally.
a person, yes, because I'm very emotional person, and that was the woman that was like damaged, pressed, like all women in SSSR. And it was at first difficult to understand how to keep silence, be straight,
and play a character so different from you personally.
Yes,
this is what
yes,
you want to say.
Mhm.
All right, that's absolutely understandable. So thank you very much, Andrei and Viktoria, for your time. Andrii Alf'erov, director, and Viktoria Romashko, actress, who are here to present Dissident in competition at the Torino Film Festival. And this is Fred, the Festival Insider.